Good afternoon, everyone. It is good to see you. Welcome to KREM 2 News at noon. I'm Nicole Hernandez in for Laura Papetti today. We do want to get straight to our weather this afternoon because, Thomas, I was outside earlier today. It's sunny, it's beautiful, but the leaves are changing. Are we fall? Are we summer? What's going on?
Yeah, I would say we're mostly fall out here, but these are the best fall days. In fact, the fall colors tend to be at their brightest when we get cool nights and sunny days, and that is exactly the weather pattern that we have leading into the weekend. Morning lows are still getting into the 40s. Afternoon highs should be well into the 70s. And yeah, more than enough sunshine out behind me. Current temperature at 63 and still got another 10 degrees to add to that for this afternoon. Absolutely pleasant and fantastic. I don't think I could have drawn this up much better myself. So yeah, nothing but sunny and clear skies for the next 3 to 4 days. And the reason for that is our high pressure area is just absolutely controlling the entire weather pattern for the Pacific Northwest. It's clearing the skies out, so any storm systems have to arch around it well to the north. So that's why it's today, tomorrow, and Sunday are all sunny. Each day warmer than the last, and I got the forecast all the way up to 78 for this Sunday. Not quite a record high, but we do have an off chance to hit that 80-degree mark. But it's next week when things will finally start to change, and I'll have the latest details on that in a few moments.
Well, we know what caused a float plane to crash into the Puget Sound more than a year ago, killing everybody on board. Spokane civil rights activist Sandy Williams and her longtime partner Patricia Hicks and 8 other people died in that crash. NTSB investigators found a lock ring that helps an aircraft control its pitch was actually missing. The new report says the missing lock ring ended up causing a series of problems. Without the ring, a clamp nut came loose from the plane's horizontal stabilizer. That ultimately caused the plane to crash. The crews also added some parts that went against the typical manufacturing of this plane.
The major thing to take away from this is we can be 100% safe as long as we do things properly in maintenance, in all aspects of flying, every single time without exception.
The NTSB says the FAA should require DHC-3 planes to have an extra way to keep the clamp nut secure and make sure pilots are checking the lock ring and seal. The victims' families have now filed 3 lawsuits against several different companies involved in the production and operation of the seaplane. The lawsuit alleges the companies should have inspected the planes properly. Also this afternoon, Emily Hurd, the only survivor of an Oregon plane crash, is now awake and talking with her family and friends. Hurd was a student at a flight school in Hillsboro, Oregon, not far from where the crash happened. 2 other people on board died. Emily's mom said she has a serious spinal injury and she will have a long recovery, but they're just grateful for everyone who has sent them messages of support. We're also hearing from the dad of one of the other 2 people on board that plane. He says the 3 were roommates and that his son, 20-year-old Barrett, died doing what he loved.
He did a little bit of everything, and most importantly, he touched everybody's heart. When he was 2 years old, when most kids were watching Finding Nemo, and he was watching Top Gun.
Federal transportation officials are still investigating what caused that crash. An elk man who got hurt in the Oregon Road fire is back home now. We first told you about Jason Knutson's story back in August. His burns from the Oregon Road fire were so bad he had to be flown to Harborview Medical Center over in Seattle. Now he's home and getting back to day-to-day life.
This is great. This is a huge step to recovery, is getting back on your own feet, you know, so you're not living with somebody else. But it's refreshing to get back on our feet and start moving along again.
Even with bandages still in his hands, Justin does want to help others. He owns a local construction company and says he wants to help people rebuild the homes they lost in the fire. And we also have an update on a story we first brought to you here on KREM 2 last week. A cat that was severely burned in the Gray Fire is finally back home with her family. That's Meows right there. Her family moved into their rental home, and so that means Meows can finally move out of their foster home. The family says that she's doing much better and is on her way to having a full recovery. Well, this afternoon, the city of Spokane and Spokane County are still at odds with scraps. Spokane City Council passed an ordinance saying scraps cannot put animals down because there's not enough shelter space. Now the county says the ordinance is violating the city's contract with the Regional Animal Protection Services. Spokane County leaders told city council members last night they need to repeal the change to city code before anything can move forward.
I don't think it serves anyone's interest to go through dispute resolution. but it's something that we had to trigger. The council did pass an ordinance that's directly in violation of our contract.
Now, Simmons says the city's rules for scraps need to be almost identical to the county's. County code does allow for scraps to put animals down if there is not enough space, but Simmons says they do not do that right now. New this afternoon, it looks like someone vandalized the Pride Walk in downtown Spokane with some paint. Take a look at this here. White paint covered the picture of the Pride flag downtown. Officers were downtown earlier today looking at this potential vandalism here. And nearby businesses say other people have tried to ruin the sidewalk and crosswalk there by spinning their tires. The Spokane Mayor's office actually sent a post out with a picture of the vandalism saying, quote, "This is unacceptable. This is not what Spokane is or what we stand for. We are better than this. It's time for us to expect better of each other and of our actions." At this time, we still don't know who did this vandalizing. After years of construction, the Parkade is having its grand reopening today. So I actually was able to go downtown this morning and take a look because after years of construction, now the actual structure is solid. So the Parkade was actually built back in 1967. In 2020, the investment group that bought it said the salt and the water from the cars over the years broke down the concrete and the rebar. So crews have been taking one section at a time and replacing the supports in the structure. They also put in new lighting and gave the garage a fresh paint. And then the mechanical equipment in the garage is now all energy and water efficient. So the old system used to waste hundreds of thousands of gallons of water a year, and now it's not wasting any.
Certainly everyone will be very relieved that that the noise is done, that the dust is done, and that it'll just be a great place to park. And that's kind of what we're hoping, is that this can be kind of a kickstart to get people back downtown.
Construction is officially done now. They're having that ribbon cutting ceremony in less than an hour at 1 o'clock. And already down there's a food truck, live music, and free parking that started at 11 o'clock today. Well, KREM 2 is kicking off Hometown Highlight tonight. Mark Hanrahan will be heading to small towns across our area in the month of October to celebrate what makes them special. Mark is heading to Reardon today ahead of the big high school football game. So you can watch KREM 2 News at 4 this afternoon to learn more about the Reardon community as the town counts down to kick off against Asotin.